everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday webinar. As you know, we are choosing successful people from Vivamk, and I'm starting with the retail side of the business, mainly door to door, but there's a bit of online, I think, in Sharon's training tonight. We'll probably have 3 or 4. Well, no, I've got at least one more speaker in mind, which will be announced by Michael on Thursday. But after the 3 retail and door-to-door, we're also going to focus after that on how to build successfully online, which is it. Right, Sharon Davis, what can I say? Brilliant. On to you. You've done fantastic. Over 18,000 personal sales, nearly 5,000 new business sales. Let's tell everybody how you did it. And can you mute me?
Can I mute you?
Oh, I can mute myself. I just realised I can mute myself. Sorry, I am so blunt sometimes.
Okay. You mute yourself. Yes. Okay. Hi, folks. Lynn's asked me to come on tonight to share the nitty-gritty of what I've been doing on a daily basis to maximise the best results that I can get from Vivamk at the moment. The past 2 meetings that I've spoken at, I've relayed what I've been doing generally, but Lynn has asked me to expand on the finer details. So here we go, the good, the bad and the ugly.
Has it frozen?
It has frozen.
This is actually probably a Zoom problem.
I think it's probably my internet, because just when I came on it said that I had limited internet. It's probably...
If you unshare the screen, if you unshare the screen and then just try again, that might work. If not, quickly fire it over to me and I'll have to take control.
Right, oh, here we go. That's it.
Yay, yay.
Cooking with gas, cooking with gas. Yeah, okay. So she apologised for asking me to share so much of my successful system, but I have absolutely no problem in sharing anything that will help anybody in Viva and ultimately Viva grow. Every one of us on here tonight is a pioneer, regardless of whether you signed up on the 25th of June last year or whether you signed up last week, because our combined effort is contributing to Viva's development and long-term success. As Debbie posted last week, so many new startup businesses flounder in the first 2 years. No matter how desperately you want it to survive, sometimes they don't. So we have to do our bit to make sure that we are not another statistic. So any one of us who's holding back on any tidbit of info that can help the whole network and essentially, you know, Viva, then we all need to start sharing it. We cannot be precious about these things if we want Viva not only to survive, but ultimately to thrive. Yes, we all need to earn money, but I think our number one objective needs to be strengthening the opportunity. My second objective is for me to be building belief and momentum back into my business. There's some fantastic retail results published on the official group, you know, on a weekly basis, but it's difficult for people so far away who don't know these people to identify with them and think, yeah, I can do that too. It's very easy to procrastinate and say, oh, well, it's okay for them. They probably live in a built-up area, not like us out in the sticks. But, you know, I needed to prove to my team that retailing results can be as good as they were with Clean Easy. If, you know, if one of their own can create great results up here with a limited population, there's nothing stopping them doing the same. And it's exactly the same with recruiting. I've always tried to build a balanced business. It's been, you know, important for me to row my business with two oars, with both oars. You can't expect your team to respect you or to follow you if you're not leading the way on both fronts. If I want to encourage big retail throughout my team, then I need to be showing them how and that it's possible. As with sponsoring, it's exactly the same. They need to see you being successful to build belief so that they can do the same. It's not a case of do as I say, not as I do. We have got to be leading from the front. In Clean Easy, I was never a top retailer. I could pull it out of the bag when I needed to for incentives and stuff like that. But I generally did 13% retail. So in old money, £1,600. That was my self-imposed target each sales period. I've averaged £2,000 a month with Viva. So since we started in August in earnest when we got a proper catalogue. The most important reason for me driving the retail is so that my team can see that it's possible to equal or even improve on the results that we got with our old customer bases. No, excuse me. But I can honestly also say to prospects that this is the results that I'm getting from these catalogues. So, we all started at the same place, July 2018. I got mixed results from, the basics book, the essentials book that we got back then. I got sales. I was told how unimpressed people were with the range. I was also told how delighted everybody was to see us back. But it was a start for us all. We used newsletters for the first time. It's not something that we'd ever done previously. It was a big thing in Mike and Jean's team. They've always done newsletters. It was a new thing for us, but we thought it was an essential tool to, to get that logo in front of people's noses. They needed to start identifying with that logo instead of Clean Easy. We needed to thank them for still being there, keep them in the loop of what was going on, and just try and direct them to some of the products that they might like in the catalogue, and get them to open that pack by identifying some top sellers and just, pretty much a thank you for still being around. So really the system has been about tweaking as we go. We started using a day ticket like this one. But although my customers had had letters, newsletters, my customer base is incredibly old, as in they are old, and they just didn't seem to, the penny just wasn't dropping that we were Vivamk. So I decided to try using my old Clean Easy day tickets, and my sales rocketed. It is giving a mixed message. I want people to identify with my Viva brand, but so long as I can see that I'm getting more sales by using that, I will continue to do so. But ultimately keep trying to get Viva under people's noses. I'm running out, obviously, the Clean Easy ones. I won't be renewing them. So I've tried this, mixed results, jury's out on it, to be honest. But the whole system is tweaking as we go, trying and deciding whether it's working or not. Christmas cards, we've always written Christmas cards to our customers. We used to do them by, until this year, we always did them by hand. I used to give Craig a box of 800 to take offshore to do in the evenings. But this year I thought, no, I'm going to, again, get that Viva brand on it so that the customer, again, is identifying us with this logo. It cost me £20 more than it usually would for my Christmas cards, so it was a good investment. So first week of April was like a new start for us all, pay plan wise and catalogue wise. We were due to pick up our biggest and most successful customer base that week. 72 books went out. Now we used to get 750 average from that area. Up until then, we'd only been getting 150, 200, but this time we got 450. So, obviously delighted with that result. We had a three-pronged attack. For the first time, we had the basics book, which obviously was quite reminiscent of what our customers were used to. So we had, a spike in sales, I'm sure, because of the basics book. We had the samples of the Scottish Soap Company. Now, these have been an incredible success for us. I'm sure it's not just because we're in Scotland, but using the samples in the parks, every customer park has a sample in it. Now, some people have said, what about putting the sample in the order bag? But what my concern there is, I feel it's a wasted sale. They get it in their sample bag, in their delivery bag, they try it on, they think it's lovely, think I must order that next time. When the book comes in, they've either forgotten or they've sort of think, they go through the book and think, oh, which one was it? And then you've missed a sale. But if it's in the bag with the order numbers, with the order forms, it seems to be a good way of getting the sale. When did we get that? Around about the first week of March that we started, oh no, April, it must have been April. I'm saying April, it must have been April before we got the samples. Since the first week of April, I haven't had 1 week that I've not had orders for the Scottish Soap Company product. And all of them, the sea kelp, I would say I've had orders for every single one. So very, very successful tool is to have the sachets in with your customer books. I also did this free gift, the spring cleaning kit that is available for us to buy as an internet special are £5. We buy them for £3.75, but because I'm a premier, I was going to say pioneer, a premier, obviously I'm getting an extra 10% on my own personal sales. So by splitting the 4 items of this pack, I've calculated that it costs me 81 pence per item to give to the customer as a free gift, as a thank you for staying loyal. That week, I sold £56 worth of Scottish Soap Company stuff, but I also had 6 old customers re-engaging, which to me was the most important element of it all. Blanket dropping, I use a different sort of regime altogether. I wouldn't dream in putting a Clean Easy labelled ticket on the blanket drop packs, because we're not identifying with, these customers are not going to identify with that at all. This, as you can see, with the actual products showing out in the pack, this is something that we've sort of just been discussing recently. Although the health and beauty book has got a lovely cover on it, it doesn't really give you an indication of the type of products. Yeah, it's beauty products, but inside. So we're thinking that we might start putting our packs out like this, where it's actually showing A, how lovely the products are, but B, the prices. And I use every catalogue in my blanket drop kits. If I'm going to be doing the house, if I'm going to the trouble of doing the legwork, I'm going to give my potential customers the option of all the books. We can't second guess what a customer is going to buy, so I'm not going to reduce the chances of me getting a sale by scrimping on the catalogue packs. So I have every single catalogue in a blanket drop pack. I'll leave them for 2 nights. I've done about 1,000 so far, averaging about £30 a book. But I have had 1 order for £93. People have bought from across all the books, not the garden one yet, but up until then, they've purchased from every book. So as I said, you can't really second guess what they're going to want. What is quite heartening is that we are picking up a younger customer with these books. The new estates have always been a nightmare for us with Clean Easy, with very few customers in those new estates, with young mums. This is where we're picking up the majority of our new customers, whilst the old successful Clean Easy streets were not doing so well blanket dropping with the new books. So it's quite good. You know, we're getting a bite at the cherry twice. We've got the sales from our old customers, but we're also getting sort of fresh new ones to keep the cycle going in 10 years' time when the old ones start popping their clogs. So, Wipeout, our bestseller by far. eBay wasn't an avenue that I ever used before Clean Easy went down, but during that interim period when we didn't have Clean Easy and before Viva, when McLeod's were quite happy to sell us some of the essential products direct, I got introduced to selling Wipeout on eBay. When I was selling about 30 bottles a week at that point, because obviously the people of the UK who loved that product couldn't get it any longer through a customer, through a distributor. So I thought, well, I'll continue after Viva started and we could get access to it through Viva. I'll continue doing it. But I never imagined that I would still have the sales that I'm getting with it, because there's a lot more competition. You'll see there that there's another 59 listings for Wipeout, but it doesn't seem to matter. Excuse me. There seems to be plenty trade, if you want, for us all. So that £930 is my 60-day running total. That does include postage. That's not just pure sales. That does include postage. But obviously it's worthwhile doing. You'll see that was a screenshot I took on Monday morning. I sold 11 bottles of stain remover on Sunday alone. I have listings of singles, of 2s, 3s, 5s and 10s. I've got a lady who bought 10 from me a few months ago. And I always put a catalogue in the delivery bag, an essentials book in with the delivery bag, because I'm thinking, well, before these people know Wipeout and are buying it online, you know, they're obviously not getting a Viva distributor. They like the products. So I've had quite a few follow-on sales by doing that. I've got a lady who bought 10 from me a few months ago, and she just phones me up every 6 to 8 weeks and orders another 10. So it just boosts, it certainly boosts the turnover. What else have I got to say about Wipeout? The PayPal and eBay fees do eat into your profit, but it helps with turnover, and because I'm a Premier, I'm getting an extra 10% on top of my 25 anyway. So there is profit in it. I maximise that profit by making sure that I create my listings on the weekends that eBay are offering limited end fee listing prices, or whatever they're called. So every 2 or 3 weekends they have one of these. So I make sure I do my listings then to maximise my profit, because they don't charge me so much for posting the listings that go on that weekends. Then I don't just post on eBay and forget about it and sort of hope for the best. I then take the eBay links and I bit.ly them. So anybody who has got any experience on Facebook selling or Facebook anything will probably be aware that Facebook doesn't like links, and the more links you post, the more chance you have of getting a ban. But for some reason, the algorithms don't seem to mind bit.ly links. So I take my eBay long link, you know, like this one, back. As you'll see here, under the 3 times Wipeout stain remover, that's actually the long eBay link. Put it into bit.ly, shorten it, I then personalise it, and then I copy that link and share it into Facebook. So I then sort of create a selling post. What I tend to do is when I'm trying to decide where to post next, because I mean, obviously these are getting posted out, so it's not local. Just for example, if I got an order from a lady in, we'll say Guildford for the sake of argument, I will then go and search all the groups in Guildford and ask to join. Because I'm thinking, my logic is, if that lady's not getting a book, the other people in our area are probably not getting a book. So I will join all the groups, the selling groups in Guildford area. I will then create a post and post it to 10 at a time and try and do that about 3 times a day. Sometimes I get eBay sales that I think are probably just random. You know, it was just luck of the draw. They chose my one out of all the others that are on there. But there are times when I think, yeah, I posted in that group today, yesterday. That probably was created through my posting. So this is sort of the map of where I have had eBay sales recently. I think I've only had 3 in Scotland since I started in August last year. So it is mostly Englandshire that seem to be prepared to buy it online because they're not getting a book, obviously. I mean, the one thing that I would hate to happen with Wipeout is that because they're not getting it from a local distributor, that they go to Tesco, buy something substandard and think, oh, it'll just do. We don't want the ex-customers to be in a position where they'll lose contact, that connection with Viva, with Wipeout. So, where are they? Next bit. Like many that are on here tonight, we joined another network during that period in between Clean Easy and Viva. When Michael announced the launch of Viva, we thought that having 2 catalogue businesses would work side by side. But after a few weeks of dropping the 2 books together, it became clear that we were just diluting our results by putting the 2 books out at the same time. So I decided very quickly to split the drops. Yes, it created more legwork, having 2 separate drops in the same street, but it was very important to me to maximise the spend from my Viva catalogues. So I had to rethink my actions to encourage my Clean Easy customers to spend in the Viva book. The impact on doing this increased my Viva spend massively. So if you find yourself in a similar position, just try tweaking how you're dropping the 2 together. You know, you're in charge. You can change your routine as and when you see fit. If you're not happy with the results, you know, it's crazy to continue down the same path. So, you know, think out of the box if you're not getting the results that you want. Sponsoring side, I'm not able to create much leads on Facebook at all at the moment. Whether my profile is just not very visible, I'm not sure, but really isn't generating much leads Facebook-wise. So we've gone back to basics. Excuse me. We find the wanted slips that you can buy from Bids, MLM Printing, Barney's, incredibly successful, always have been. I've taken in most of my best distributors through that wanted slip. The beauty is, you know, they've already connected to your products. They know and trust your products. They know and trust you before they're filling in that slip. So you're halfway there to recruiting somebody. Using Advert Anywhere leads, I mean, you can buy a campaign for $9.95 plus VAT. It's not a big investment, but it's really handy just to have a trickle of leads coming in without you having to think about generating them. flyering, again, it's great to go to areas that you know there isn't any distributors in, which for most of us is probably just about everywhere just now. I have always liked open adverts, but I think just now it's key. Nobody knows us. We need to get that branding out there. So I don't see the point in having closed adverts, so earn extra income when promoting Viva isn't going to cause a reaction, for most people. So supporting these people once we get them in, we've always worked locally and previously went out, did their first drop, first pick up with them, helped them get their first orders on. But now I'm teaching the team to stay in control of their newbies plan until they reach the £200 mark and receive their £10 investment back. So we're out there in the street with them, books in, books out, in and out, until they have reached that £200. Yes, it's a lot of work, but what you're doing is you're instilling their confidence in you. They know that you are there for them. They're going to get their competency levels up quicker, and they're going to be less likely to walk because you've been there supporting them so robustly. And then, when you go to sort of step back to let them get on with it, there's more chance of them picking up and going with it. There are still some really good people out there. Lorna joined our business in November. She did £226 in November, 139 December, Viva Star in January, February £712, March 604, and she's continued with it. That's an old slide that I did for a previous training. Massive commitment to the business. She's coming to conference, she's staying over for gala dinner, her and her two daughters. And she lives up here beside us. It's a massive commitment of time and expense for us to get down to events like that. So keep on looking for these stars because they are out there. It's just, going back to the beginning when we were all starting off with Clean Easy, just, they are out there and we will find them. Brand awareness. I've got 2 new wardrobes. I've got my summer wardrobe and I've got my winter wardrobe. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to wear my summer wardrobe very much in the last few weeks. But one way or another, the people of Ellen are going to have Vivamk rammed down their throat. I think it's probably our biggest challenge is just the lack of brand awareness. So my car was supposed to go in 2 weeks ago to get Vivified, but the guy let me down. But it shall be done very, very soon. But wherever I go, whether it's my customers, Tesco, the bank, the post office, everybody can see that eventually the penny will drop what Vivamk is all about. Just before the last meeting we went to, I was sitting watching the news and Prince Harry came on to promote the next Invictus Games. And it just, when I read this, I thought it's just us. Those of us that have chosen Viva as our number one or our only opportunity, being pioneers and part of this process, we did not choose the route of less resistance. But it's what's going to make success even more sweeter in the end. For the past 2 years, we've all shown incredible resilience. We've had to have the courage to keep driving this vehicle to the point where we will draw them in by their thousands. Thank you.
I had to unmute myself. Is that you finished, Sharon?
I am.
But now I don't know if I can unmute everybody so they can give you a big. I think what I would like you to do is if you go down to the bottom of the screen and then we can say thanks properly. Go down to the bottom of the screen and you will see participants.
Will I stop sharing? I'll stop sharing.
No, you can stop sharing, but no, Sharon, that's your name. Yes, but if you look at participants, and just click my name and make me back to being host. You see it down the bottom of the screen if you put your arrow, participants?
Manage participants?
Yes, click that, and then you'll see my name and just put the arrow and 2 blue buttons will come up and one should say make host.
More? Make host.
Thank you. That makes it easier for me to say.
Okay.
Not that I like to be in control. Sorry about the technical there. I'm going to edit that bit out, but I will edit that bit out. I want to minimise this screen that's at the top here, that one, manage participants. And then what I want everybody, I wanted to do, because I knew Sharon didn't know how to unmute everybody, for a couple of minutes, I'm just going to unmute everybody so we can say, absolutely fantastic, Sharon, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well done.
Hey. Thank you, that was brilliant.
So pop it on the gallery view so we can see more people. Absolutely brilliant. And for the next 5-10 minutes, we'll see if anybody is Sharon's up for it. We've lost you, Sharon, now. You must be on the next page. Where have you been? Just go back to speaker view for 1 second and just, and anybody want, Sharon, do you want to speak so we can get you on the screen? Or we, Jane, here. Hi again.
Hello.
Hey. Just anybody got any questions for Sharon?
Hi Sharon, this is Jackie here. Thank you so much for that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. I was just looking at your personal sales, absolutely fantastic, and your new business sales. Is that from the very beginning of when we started last year?
That's from August.
Oh, it's from August. Excellent. Yeah. Fantastic. And just another quick question about, you were talking about sending wipeouts via eBay. I'm very reluctant to actually send in liquids through Parcel Portal or wherever. I tend to pick and choose the things I sell on eBay that pack easily. How do you actually send the wipeout?
If it's 1, 2, or 3 bottles, I do it through the post office.
Okay.
I pretty much just use recycled whatever I've got in the house. I try not to have to buy packaging. And the post office obviously asks you now, can I ask what's in the package? And I just tell them exactly. I don't lie. I just say it's stain remover. Is it toxic? No. Is it flammable? No. And that's fine. If it's 5 or 10 bottles, I send direct from Viva.
Right. Okay. But there's never been any problem sending it through.
No. I mean, I've had one, I think, out of the hundreds that I must have sold, I've had one that had leaked by the time it got there. But that's it, out of all.
Yeah, just lots of jiffy and wrapping and bubble wrap and that, I suppose, yeah.
I've got a question about okay. Thanks, Jackie. That was a great question. Great question. There was something along the lines I wanted to ask. So the question that I wanted to ask is, why would you choose to post them yourself when you can do it through Viva?
Because I can post it for £2.90. But if I do it through Viva, it's £3.95. So the customer is getting it £1 cheaper.
Right, okay. This is a personal choice then, really.
Very much so. I mean, you'll see, if you look at those other postings that are on, they're all different things. Some people post them out. You can obviously see that some people are charging £3.95 and must just be doing it from Viva.
That's a personal choice thing.
I've just got into a routine now of I go to the post office at 5 o'clock every night, and that's it's just part of where before I would have been going, oh God, imagine having to do all that, but it's just part of my routine now.
Plus you can put a catalogue in with it if you're posting them out directly yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Kate. I was going to say business card catalogue as well. You can pop in it.
Right. The only thing I would like to ask again, sorry, is does that mean that you're buying stock? Because a lot of people can't afford to buy stock.
I mean, I do. I mean, I buy it 30 at a time, but you don't need to. You don't have to have stock. I mean, if you're just dipping your toe in to try it, buy one, see it, sell it, buy another one, buy a couple, buy 4, buy 5, and you'll. I think the more that you sell, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's like Facebook in that more visible you get, you know, with likes and things. I don't think it's like that, but it's incredible how people keep coming back to my posts to buy. So I think that they maybe see confidence. If you've got a listing that's selling 30, you've sold 15 of them, people have the confidence to come to you because they go, well, it looks more business-like because you've sold a lot already. But, you know.
That's great. That's answered my questions. Anybody else? John's saying I send and post myself, no issue, repeat sales, eBay, I find. So anybody else get any query? We don't have to stick to eBay. I like the Scottish shops, and I do know that they're not just selling in Scotland. They're very popular up and down the UK, and putting these samples in the customer base. If you get a new customer, then you'll give them the sample next time around, so you don't miss the sale. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I don't want to hold the questions.
I've got a quick question, if that's okay.
Of course.
I don't know if I've picked you up wrong, Sharon, but you were saying there about posting a link to your eBay.
Yes. Could you pause it a wee minute, Louise? What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody and Sharon and Louise unmute, because unfortunately we've got a bit of background noise. How do I mute everybody? Manage participants. Oh, there's so many chats. Mute all. Right, and if Sharon and Louise could unmute themselves. And then if you've got a question, you'll just unmute yourself. Right, Sharon unmute and Louise unmute. Thank you. Sorry about that. Technical hitch. There was a lot of background noise there.
Okay.
Louise?
I just wanted to ask if I had picked you up correctly that you're sharing a post into a selling group on Facebook that links directly to your eBay posting. Is that correct?
That's right. But I bitly it first.
Right. Yeah, you bitly it. I got that. Okay. Yeah. I just wonder, this is maybe just my wee brain here, but I just wondered why? Because to me that seems a kind of roundabout way of doing it. Why not just post into the selling site like we kind of teach your teams to do and have them buy direct from you? Why are you directing the traffic back to eBay?
Because they seem to have the confidence to buy through eBay.
Right, okay.
That's fine. You know, locally, obviously, I can just do it direct and not have the hassles or the expense of PayPal and eBay. But for these distance sales, I mean, on my recruitment website, I have added a shop in there, and people, with that in mind, to try and get rid of the fees from these two companies by doing it through eBay. But I've never had a sale. I promoted it long and hard, and I've never had a sale. So I'm presuming that people just like the security of buying through eBay.
Right, yeah, I can understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
say though, as we all know, just the system with just selling on Facebook in a normal manner and not passing them to eBay, even at a distance, it does work. We have been selling them online, but I think if you were going to try that, it's like everything else, Sharon, you suck it and see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You suck it and see which one works best. And obviously for you, the divert, because that makes sense to me now, because I did wonder as well, like Louise, thanks for that question, Louise, because I wondered as well about that. You know, what was the reason for sending them eBay?
Yeah.
Percentage. Well, like Scottish, I'm thinking about the percentage profit.
Yeah.
But if you found at a distance you weren't getting the sales, but you are eBay, and everybody who's in the audience tonight, I say it's personal to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try both ways on two separate Facebook accounts and see which one wins. Because obviously we want to get the full commission, but that's some great tips there. Anybody else got any questions? Speak or forever hold your peace.
I mean, once we get our own shops through the back office, then obviously I would much rather be promoting it through that than through eBay. You know, but it's just an interim situation. Yeah.
Right, understand that. Well, that makes sense. But anybody else got any questions? No? Well, Sharon, thank you so very much. I do have a question to ask. It's not actually a question, it's kind of like, would you consider sharing? See, Sharon's name's pronounced the same as us saying Sharon. Sharon, I pronounce it a bit different for you, Sharon, but I'm nearly there. Would you mind sharing with some of these things that you put out there? Just some of your, I'll send you a wee messenger message with some of this slips and stuff, or examples, some of the stuff that you showed there.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'll tell you, I'll show you. I thought somebody might ask me this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Am I big on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. On my freebies that I'm sending out, I've got a big thank you thing that, so every time they're using their dish soap, they've got me and my details in their face. Yeah. So it's just all about trying to get them to recognise Vivamk as a brand.
Things. A follow up, I'll have a wee chat with Sharon through Messenger and just steal some of those ideas. And no, I will finish by saying that when I went to my son's customer base, I did put Clean Easy logo quite big. Previously, Clean Easy distributor, so I was legal because that was a small writing. It used to be Clean Easy distributor, now Vivamk, and I made it stand up the way so that the customers could see Clean Easy. Now, I wouldn't say I've not actually worked sales per catalogue because it was only 40 books, probably about £100. So what is that? It's only £2 odds. It's not a lot, but it's a first drop. But what I did notice is practically every single book from the customers was open because of that Clean Easy logo being there. Now, if it's customer base, you can do what Sharon does, but I actually have on my slips Clean Easy, used to be Clean Easy, now Vivamk, so I'm staying within the law. Not that you're not breaking the law, Sharon, I didn't want to suggest I'll edit this bit. But that
I did ask Michael first.
Well, I've already asked Michael, and to be fair, I used to work for a lawyer's office and I've got a wee bit of advice. I'm not saying I'm a Clean Easy, that we used to be Clean Easy. I'm saying I used to be a Clean Easy distributor and I'm now a Vivamk distributor, but that's in small writing and all the customer sees as a Clean Easy logo. So I will tell you it's perfectly legal what I'm doing. But if you want to run it by Michael, you'll probably say ask the lawyer.
No, he said just go ahead.
Keep it legal. Do previously Clean Easy, now Viva, because that definitely worked for me, Sharon, with my customers. And as you know, the Clean Easy logo worked for you, but I kept it within what I was 2 feet today, what Sharon done. I wasn't brave enough to do that. So there's another way of doing it that way. Anybody else want to add anything before we say thanks very much once again to Sharon? I write replacing Clean Easy on catalogues. Again, that's not necessarily within the realms of the law because I don't know. I think I'd need to ask somebody on that one. But it's trying to have the Clean Easy logo for your customer base if you haven't already attacked them. I don't know what I'm going to do with blanket drop-in. Probably.
Lynn, can I just come in just for a minute? The only thing I would mention in here is that the Clean Easy name was sold. It will resurface again, and possibly not with the products that we were so fond of or even the quality that we liked. And so all I would say is do what you're all doing. Yes, it maybe was Clean Easy, but we're Viva. We don't want to be associated with a company and many other companies. I remember Windsor Towels. Windsor's name, they went into administration many, many years ago, and another company bought them over. Windsor now is a very poorly made product. So care, maybe that's all I would say. Just be careful.
I understand and I do appreciate and agree to a certain extent exactly what you're saying there. I'm talking about the clean easy customers or the clean easy old customers. I'm with Sharon on the blanket drop-in that I would exclusively put Vivamk. So just to, maybe that wasn't made clear by me when I was sharing when we were talking on the blanket drop-in, Vivamk, clean easy or X, you know, like that #1 Polbeth Gardens who gave me the robin. I got an order, if you didn't join, from an old customer she'd never bought for years and years and years, and she bought the robin necklace. And she said it's a bit dear, but I like it. You know, so customers, yes, blanket drop-in, agree with Jane and Sharon, Vivamk. Agree with it totally. Thanks for making that point clearer, because maybe it wasn't too clear there. Anybody else before we go? Sharon, speak so we can see your face to say goodbye to you.
Hello, goodbye.
Thanks so much, Sharon. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
The next speaker will be announced. If there's any further questions, just fire them over to me and I'll ask as we go through it. I think I've got more, but I don't want to keep the meeting going, so I will be messaging you.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, I can't answer it. Yes.
I would love to hear Louise on here doing a training on her Instagram.
That's all in hand, and definitely what we're going to do is we're going to cover the door-to-door side, the catalogue side, the demonstrations door-to-door, which are working really well, and then we're going on to the internet. Louise is now going, oh no! With the Instagram, it may be secondary to the Facebook because Facebook's more popular. But
no, Lynn, that's you and me's generation.
I know it's your generation, but what I'm saying is, I'll rephrase that then. I'll rephrase that. The reason I choose Facebook first and then teach people to go on Instagram is most people are more familiar with Facebook. We've got all the trainings in place, and we are only learning Instagram. You know, and so at the moment we know we get results for Facebook, we know we get sales, we know we still get sponsoring, and the 3-foot rule. Here's a good, sorry to keep going, but this is a good tip that I didn't think about when Sharon had mentioned that the Facebook leads are going down. So what I'm going to be doing is experimenting with other things, but the main thing on Facebook not to forget is the 3-foot rule. If somebody buys a product at the end of the conversation, I don't suppose you know anybody who's looking for. If somebody inquires about a product at the end of the conversation, I don't suppose you know anybody. And Mary Stewart, who I don't know if it's on tonight, consistently sponsored people into her business who joined her group. So don't forget that it isn't just about putting in the buy and sell groups. It isn't just about doing discussion posts. 3-foot rule, everybody, and you will find that you'll start to get prospects again from Facebook. But back to you, Sharon. Your request is granted, providing Louise agrees to me. I don't know when it will be, but thanks so very much, and thanks to the audience tonight. Fantastic webinar. Dates of the next one, they'll probably be 3 weeks apart, 2 or 3 weeks apart at the most, because I know a lot of other people have a Wednesday webinar as well as we have one. But thanks again, Sharon, thanks everybody else, and we'll see you all, and we'll see my guys next Wednesday, and I don't know when I'll see all you guys on Facebook. Thanks, Sharon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Cheers.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Night, everybody. Thanks very much. Thanks, Sharon. Great meeting. I'm going to go now. If I can end meeting for all. Good night, everybody.